Have you heard the latest buzzword in real estate lately? It's homeowners insurance. Guys, 7,000 San Diego homeowners were dropped by their insurance companies just last year. And a majority of the providers have actually pulled out of California. A lot of big name companies too. And if your insurance company didn't actually drop your coverage, well, we certainly hope that this didn't happen to you. A local Dehesa couple had their yearly rate go up. Get this, it increased from $1,000 a year to $8,000 a year. Or are you more like some of our recent buyers we've been working with lately? They've been struggling to find affordable coverage. We go out, we find the perfect property, but getting the homeowner's insurance, oh my gosh, it's been a real hassle. Yep, there are 3 key items that you need to know about when buying and selling property in San Diego right now. And we're covering them in this video. First off, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, I'm one half of a dynamic duo, a San Diego father and daughter realtor team. I am Lynnor Anderson, and my off-screen partner is actually my dad, Lyle. So we've been doing real estate here forever, over 60 years combined in San Diego. My dad's been licensed since 1983, and I guess that makes me more of the newbie with 21 years under my belt as of last month. The reason we say this isn't to brag, just to give you an idea of perspective and longevity on what's going on. See, back in the days gone by, we had trouble with appraisals. That was followed with lender issues. Next, it was termites, and now, well, it's homeowners insurance. People are actually getting dropped from their policies, or their rates are going sky high, and the people that are buying homes are having the hardest time getting companies to even offer them quotes, which is required when you buy a property. Lenders are really firm about this, and cash buyers would be foolish not to have it. And since we are in the trenches day in and day out, we wanted to share what has worked for our clients recently. You may have heard or have been familiar to the idea of something known as the California Fair Plan. It is the last ditch plan if buyers couldn't find coverage anywhere else. Well, back in October, I was reading all kinds of horror stories online. Transactions were actually being canceled, all due to the buyer being stuck, waiting 3 weeks or more to get the California Fair Plan in place. And these poor folks were spending hours on the phone. Why? The California Fair Plan system was overloaded. Well, luckily since then, we have been able to find some God-sent insurance angels. I mean, agents to provide insurance. These folks are everything that you need when you're trying to get insurance. They are prompt, professional, and honest. Plus, they're actually able to get you the insurance that you're going to need, even if you're buying a property that's in one of those high fire zones. So do not be shy. Reach out to us if you would like their contact info. And if you do end up at that last ditch effort with the California Fair Plan, I've got an amazing tip for you to help speed things along with getting coverage. Call your assembly member in the area that you're buying your property in. Tell them that you're trying to get the California Fair Plan insurance and could sure use their help with expediting the process. Recently, I had to reach out to both Marie Waldron's office up here in the North County Inland area and Christopher Ward's office down in the Allied Gardens neighborhood. Good news, both were ready to help, so do not be shy. They will be able to assist you too. Earlier this week, I was on the phone with Jennifer. She's my go-to escrow officer over at Oakwood Escrow, and Jennifer said we definitely need to mention homeowners insurance in this video this week, because when the buyers reach out to her to get their wire instructions for sending in their earnest money deposit in the beginning of a transaction, everything is brand new to them, and they ask her, what is the next step, aside from those wire instructions? The second thing she tells them is to start shopping for homeowners insurance. On day one of the transaction, guys, somehow agents and lenders don't mention it to buyers until the last minute. But now that we've lost so many companies in California, this needs to be happening right away at the beginning of a transaction. After insurance, another key thing to think about is the affordability factor here in San Diego. Hey, did you catch this headline? These cities are now so expensive, they are considered impossibly unaffordable. Lucky us, right? San Diego made the top 10 list of the impossibly unaffordable cities in the world. Guys, our average sales price is over $1.4 million for homes, and condos are hovering just over $780,000. And with interest rates over 7%, there's no way to say this nicely, but buyers are in for one hell of a house payment here in America's finest city. Here's our advice when navigating this current marketplace. Number one, get your pre-approval done before you go out and shop for that home. That way, you know your budget, you know your max purchase price based on your loan amount, and this one's a biggie. You have a good estimate of what your monthly payment is actually going to be. Plus, when writing offers, a lender letter is now required with most of the listing agents. Our second piece of advice to you is to be knowledgeable of market conditions. So what do I mean? Well, here's an example of what not to do when you're selling. We had sellers who were stuck on getting their list price, really digging in their heels. They actually refused to send out counteroffers to anything that came in that was under list price. It ended up taking way more time than they had anticipated to get their home sold because their strategy was to just wait it out. Well, after 3 months on the market, they found the right buyer, one who was actually going to step up to their price point, but it could have been done a lot sooner if they were willing to negotiate with those lower offers, like we always advise. And the third piece of advice that we can share with you is to stay within your budget. And if possible, start looking at homes anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000, less than your max purchase amount. Despite that impossibly unaffordable headline, demand here is high. Competition on homes is fierce. Check out this chart. You are in a seller's market. By the way, if you do want to get a copy of this chart each month, there's actually a link down below in the description, and we will gladly email it to you. Plus, the cool thing is you can change the city, county, or even zip code to get the data for anywhere across the nation. It's really helpful for tracking market conditions. Now, on the flip side, here's an example of a family that was both flexible and knowledgeable of the market conditions. On their first offer, they got beat out. It was a brutal multiple counteroffer of highest and best situation on the home. It was built in 1950s with less than 1,200 square feet. It was nearly original condition, plus it needed a ton of work. So obviously they're bummed out, but instead of throwing in the towel, they jumped to the other side of the community and they looked at a townhome, still in the same neighborhood of Allied Gardens, but this time it was a townhome with over 1,800 square feet. Have you ever walked into a house and got punched in the face with a smell? This place reeked. The sellers had smoked in it for years. Well, our buyer is really handy, and he had redone 2 homes before. So besides eradicating that smoke smell, this property needed some cosmetic work, a facelift to bring that late 80s retro style into 2024, and a really deep cleaning, possibly even a new air duct system. But it was worth it. This townhome was listed at $889,000 originally, and our clients closed on it earlier this month at $850,000. The husband took off of work to do the rehab work himself, and get this, a model match townhome across the street right now is listed at $920,000. It's all fixed up, but let's talk about some sweat equity. Oh, and there's one more thing that I wanted to mention. The buyer came in with $400,000 down. He sold 2 rental properties up in the state of Washington to buy his young family a dream home here in San Diego. All of his planning, persistence, and patience paid off, and we really couldn't be more happy for them. So there actually is one more key item that you need to know about. A lot of folks aren't touching it yet, but have you heard about the NAR settlement? Well, NAR stands for the National Association of Realtors, just in case you didn't know. Well, without going too deep into the weeds on details, and as of right now, the whole situation isn't actually settled, well, here's where we are with the current settlement. It's a settlement that is all in the effort of being more transparent about how realtors get paid. And there really is a lot going on with it, but here's the short and sweet part that you need to be aware of. As of mid-August, buyers are required to sign a buyer-broker agreement with the realtor, where you're going to be committing to and confirming that you will be responsible for your agent's compensation. Now, that's if the seller doesn't agree to pay for it, which is how things have been done for as long as I can remember. So knowing that you may be responsible for all or some of your buyer's agent compensation, if I were in your shoes and I was out there buying property, I would find the best realtor that I could. Seriously, one that could represent my best interest. And you better believe I'd find one that was one hell of a negotiator, because I would want someone that would work hard for me to get the best home at the best price, but also want that agent to work their tail off to get the seller to agree to pay their compensation as well. That way, me as a buyer, I wouldn't be responsible for any additional unforeseen out-of-pocket costs. Hey, buying a house is expensive enough. You've got your down payment, your closing costs, inspection and appraisal fees, not to mention moving costs or home renovations. Yep, finding a strong, seasoned buyer's agent is definitely going to be helpful for you in our marketplace. What do they say? The one thing that's constant is change. Well, things are always changing in the real estate world. Hey, to keep up on the latest need to know info, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And if you would like, share the video with your friends and family. Click the thumbs up button. If you need help with anything that we covered in this video, like I said, don't be shy. Reach out to us. We actually answer our phones, emails, and text. We help our clients from the start to the finish line and beyond. We love helping folks like you when it comes to making a move in or even out of San Diego, and we promise to do an excellent job for you and your family.